Good evening, Toon fans. Welcome back to Through Black and White Eyes on this glorious Friday night. If you're sitting here watching us, then what the hell is wrong with you? Get to the pub. That's where everyone should be tonight, apart from me, because I've got work tomorrow night, and the two gentlemen that I have waiting in the background who want to talk about football. That's what we're here for. Obviously, it's a massive clash on Sunday. Can't wait to watch it. I'm going to be like this, covering everything. It's going to be a very, very epic game. We'll quickly get through the usual stuff. Evening all, welcome to the Arsenal Newcastle preview. Please like and share, subscribe to the channel, help it grow. Donate 99p to be a member, and we put you in a monthly prize draw. Super chats in the bottom right hand corner, and all the profits are going to charity. And it's Football Newcastle, the charity this month, which is Roger Thames's charity. Please be respectful, basically. Evening, Gary. Great to see you there. Leslie's obviously modern. Dan's going to be on the show, but he's just quickly introduced himself to the chat, as he always does. Roger, great to see you, mate. Get to the pub, mate. It's a Friday. And they're all talking to themselves, which we always love. Yeah, so let's bring co-host in, Dan, first. Dan!
I had to quickly unmute myself. Pardon me. Good evening, Baz. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, sir.
Looking forward to seeing you next week in person.
Yes! Can't wait.
It feels like it's been forever. It's only been since January.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it? But it's flown by, hasn't it? It's gone far too fast. A little update from me, by the way. I'm through to the next round of that thingy bob thing that I'm not allowed to talk about. So all the trolls will be very disappointed that I made it through to the next round, which is the last round. And let's see what happens. But problem is, being dyslexic, I've got to write a match report. So that's going to be fun.
I'll help you at it, Baz.
I've got a lot of help with you. I've got John C, who's obviously the wizard. Henry Winter's going to help out, which is absolutely fantastic as well. Brilliant. I think I've been very, very, very lucky. The people who I've got around me who are going to help. Right, now let's bring in our Arsenal fans. So everyone, please be respectful, as we always are. But Reno is a top man from TikTok. I've seen a lot of his videos recently, and I thought I'll reach out, see if he fancies coming on. I got a no to start with because he was going to go out in the piss, and then he changed his mind. I don't know why. But Reno, welcome to Through Black and White Eyes.
Hi, Bez. How you doing? I love the Geordie fans. Lots of respect. So don't give me any crap, guys.
You might get a little bit respectful crap, but that'll probably be about it, to be fair.
Friendly banter, if you will.
Yeah, friendly banter is probably the best way to say it.
Good natured ribbing.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes. Welcome, Reno. And well, made it almost on time. Well done, Jim. Well done. So we'll very quickly start off with Eddie Howe's press conference from today. This might be a little bit boring for you being an Arsenal fan, but we'll fly through this bit because we want to get to the nitty-gritty stuff. Daniel's in the house as well. We've done well against Arsenal this season. Obviously, 3 games, not conceding a goal, winning all 3. 2 of them in the cup semi-final, which was obviously went on to win the Carabao Cup. You know, amazing stuff. But he doesn't underestimate the opponent because obviously, you know, you guys are obviously still fighting for the top 5 as well, and you want to finish second, of course, to finish on a high. He talks about Sven Botman, but we'll talk about him later on. Kieran Trippier and Joe Willock, again, not fit for the weekend. Joe Linton, apparently, he's working really hard behind the scenes, but it doesn't look like he's going to make it at the weekend again. He might not be back till next season, sorry, not next year. On the qualifications, it's not done yet. The picture can change game to game, and I think we've got to really focus on the next game and trying to win it. We've been perfect in our preparation, and it's good to focus on the players. It's massive, isn't it, this game on Sunday, Dan? I actually can't believe how big this game is now, especially since Spurs and Man United don't look like they're going to be doing anyone any favours, are they?
No, I think that's fair to say. This is another cup final for us. It's going to be, well, it's the 4th time we've played this season, isn't it, Reno? I mean,
it is.
it's going to be an exciting match, and of course, as has been mentioned out in the comments, that both teams are suffering from injuries at this point of the season. We're just trying to grind these last 2 games out. But I mean, this, because of the positions in the table and because of our history so far this season, this game has taken on a monumental classification, if you will. So
yeah. I mean, as far as we're concerned, this last game of the season at home, it should be a carnival. It should be a carnival for us. But because we've been so poor over the last 3-4 weeks, it is now such an important game. And I just hope we recognise it, because we haven't recognised it for the last 6 weeks. So I'm a bit concerned. Forget the injuries. We're not going to make excuses, but I'm glad Trippier's not playing, and I'm glad Joe Linton's probably not playing, because they're the nemesis. They're the guys that, I don't want to be rude, they put it about a bit. They're physical, and we're not good with physicality. And they're the guys that have actually upset us in the past. And I mean, I don't mean upset us mentally. I mean, in a physical match basis. So I'm glad they're out, to be honest.
They're not shy. I think.
Yeah, they're quite aggressive. I love them both.
Oh, they're both fantastic players. There we are. Right.
Oh, I see. James has joined the chat. Hi, James.
James is part of Reno's TikTok account. Is that right, Reno? Oh no, I think he's froze. He's froze. That happens.
Yeah, you've lost me. I think, have you or not?
No, you're back again. I think he's back.
Yeah, can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, I can hear you. Let's just quickly take this off. Can you hear us?
Yeah. I mean, James is my godson, and he asked me if I'd like to do this, and so he set Football Chat Uncensored up totally. Yeah, and I do the chat, and he does some of it, but he's too busy. He's got kids and everything. Simple as that. But we'll both be going on Sunday together.
Ooh, excellent. I like that. Right. Isaac donated 1.8 million bonus.
I don't know if you still got me, guys.
We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, good. Okay.
So he's basically donated to the homelessness incentives in the UK and Sweden. This includes support for organisations that work with disadvantaged children and the youth. That is absolutely amazing stuff. And to be honest, I know a lot of other footballers do this, but it doesn't really get out into the the spaces. So I'm glad this one made it out, and we got to be able to congratulate Isaac for that amazing work. It's incredible. Dad, I'm also getting really excited. Eddie Howe, I've made no attempt to hide from this fact the summer window will be a big window for us. Now, obviously everyone's been talking about, we might not get enough players in, we might not do this, we might not do that. This sounds very, very promising, and I'm getting excited.
Sounds epic. Yes, agreed. And we've been battering on all season long about ever since the beginning of the season, after the summer window closed, and we signed nothing. A couple of young ones, and then Lloyd Kelly, and then of course in January, we sent Kelly on loan to Juventus, which has now become a permanent transfer. So we've been excited about any possibility of incoming players for quite some time now. 3 windows, in fact. But this kind of talk from the gaffer just gives us something to really look forward to. And given that we know that Eddie likes to get his business done early. So I mean, season's ending only a couple of weeks. That means June 1st we should be ready to go, which means it might happen while we're there. So that we might start seeing some incomings while we're in town. So that'll be fun.
That would be absolutely epic. Reno, are you a little bit worried for next season? If Newcastle have a good window, do you think they could be challenging the top 3? Obviously, that's the aim, to be in the top 4 again next season. But do you think we could go another step forward if we sign 4 quality players potentially?
It depends. We're talking what is quality, guys. I mean, it is scarce. We're talking scarcity. So, defined, for me, as long as an Arsenal man, if we get Zupimendi, which I've actually said we would, midfield player, and we get a decent centre forward, I actually think we will win the league. And I know that's being big-headed, and you think that's arrogant. I know it sounds arrogant, but I think we've got a great team. And if you look at our problem, it is about scoring. We need 3 players. We need 2 centre forwards and at least 1 midfield player. As far as Newcastle are concerned, I think you've got a great team, but I think you've got some weaknesses there. I really feel up front, I know you love Barnsley, but I think he lacks sometimes. I don't think he's consistent. And I get all my Geordie followers saying, oh no, Barnes, we love him. And I think you need somebody in the midfield. If Joe Linton's not there, you need another defensive midfield player who is quality. That's my feeling. And maybe a defender, maybe another centre half.
100% need a centre half. 100%. I would say 1, Dan, to be honest with you. 1. I would say 1.
Given Botman's history record this season, I'd like another backup just in case.
Yeah, I get that. I think he'll be all right by next season, though. But if we get, and he's man we've been following for a while, but if we get Gear who can play left and right sided, it also helps to cover both sides if something goes wrong. We definitely need an upgrade on Jacob Murphy, even though he's had a superb season. I just think, could it be a 1-season wonder? He's 29 now. You can't go into next season risking him having another great season. We definitely need a backup striker. And I also still think, even though Nick Pope is fantastic in goal when he's saving, I still think we need a goalkeeper more like a Man City goalkeeper, a Liverpool goalkeeper, an Arsenal goalkeeper who, if you want to play
play with his feet.
Yeah, you need to be able to play out from the back, don't you? So it's going to be interesting because, as you say, quality is scarce, but there is quality out there somewhere. And it's all about finding the right players who fit the system as well. And you also mentioned about maybe a midfielder, which a lot of us think if we're going to change our formation, we do need someone who's a bit more attacking, Gibbs White or someone like that. But I don't know. But I'm just excited that we're actually, because it's been 3 windows since we signed a player, like a player of any note. So we're just excited that it's actually going to happen. Yes, the Espanyol goalkeeper who played in nets last night against Barcelona, apparently he's meant to be hot on our radar, apparently. I don't know how true it is, so we'll leave it at that, but that's interesting. So the Arsenal side of things, you are right. You've got a fantastic team and squad. You've also got players who need to come back from injury, like Jesus. He was a massive miss. I like him. I like him.
He can't score. He can't. He's a fantastic player, but he's not clinical. Forget up in front of goal, he cannot score, and that's our problem across the whole front line. We haven't got a goal scorer. You see it. Look at the stats. We love Jesus, but he's lost it. He's lost it since the injury.
I'm thinking if you sign another striker and you've got him to come back as well, he's not a bad man to say, oh, go on, Jesus, have a go. Do you know what I mean?
I'd like a striker, and I'd like, put it on the blog. I'd like 30 million on Delap. That's it. Get 2 strikers.
Yeah. I think he's massive value for money. I really do. But again, you could challenge quite easy next season. Are you worried about losing any big stars? Is there anything in the pipeline that way?
Do you know what? I mean, that's the one thing everybody's stirring up about. If we don't win anything, we're going to lose them. I think actually this season will be fine. I don't think Saliba's going to go, and he's the one we're all concerned about, Real Madrid. But I think we've got one more season, and if we don't win a trophy next season, then the likes of Saliba and even Saka. Let's not, look what Trent has just done, a Liverpool boy. And he's gone to Real Madrid. Saka could do the same if he thinks there's no trophies coming. Let's be honest. So we've got one more season before I'm worried about players leaving, to be honest.
Is Saka the boyhood Newcastle fan, yeah.
Boyhood Newcastle fan, just like Jacob Murphy and his brother.
What, Saka?
Yeah. His
Oh, yeah.
dad is a massive Newcastle fan. He took him to all over the country watching games. You know, there's a lot of people putting 2 and 2 together and getting 6 when it comes to that, to be honest with you, because I don't think he would sign for. But maybe in a season's time, if we are challenging for Champions League every season, and then we're maybe pushing for the league and trophies, Saka might think, do you know what? His dad might say, "Go on, Saka, have a go, son. Why not?"
Should we start that one up? Should we start that rumor? That'd be
Well,
fun.
people have tried it. People have tried it, mate. I'm telling you.
I think. Sorry.
Has he got 2 years left on his contract, or is it a year?
No, I think he's got 2 left. He only
2,
signed up, I
yeah.
think, last year. He put another contract down.
Right.
Saliba's got 2 years as well, so we're a bit safe at the moment.
Here's an idea, Reno. We'll give you 50 million plus Callum Wilson for Saka. How's that?
Sorry, another overrated player. I couldn't believe when they were saying, he should be playing for England. It was, my good God, where are the press coming from when they say that?
I've been very critical. I mean, he's been a great servant to the club. He will get you goals as long as he's fit. The problem is he isn't ever fit. He's the man is made of glass. I've made fun of him pulling a hamstring getting off the pot. It's just he's just been unlucky the last couple of years, and it's not getting any better for him. He's 33 years of age now, so
he's finished. No, I mean, I think the thing you're missing, guys, is that the question you really asked me was, do I think that Newcastle are really going to be contenders next season? And I think you just got to look at Liverpool are only going to get better, and City are only going to get better. Arsenal are only going to get better, and then you've got, I think really Chelsea and Villa. They're the 2 teams that are going to be pushing yourselves and ourselves as well. Chelsea, everybody's underestimating. I really feel they're underestimating what they could do. But for, you got City, Liverpool, ourselves, you, Chelsea, Forest, Villa. It's not going to be easy. So, can we really predict what's going to happen next season? Not until the transfer window is closed and we know who's coming.
No, especially when the likes, when the likes of Bournemouth and Fulham have also had decent seasons. My favorite part of this season has been seeing Man United just sink. That's been my favorite part of the entire season. Only because I've been a Newcastle supporter for 30 years now. So that during those early years of me following the club, it was Man United and Newcastle. It was those first couple of years of the Premier League, which was exciting stuff, and then the arrogance just got old very quickly, and they've been a shadow of the team since Alex Ferguson left. So just watching them plummet has been fun. That's for me, and that's not me being arrogant. That's just me being a football fan.
No, I say it as the motto we have on Football Chat Uncensored is say it as it is. No PC, no bias. And the thing is, the problem you got is that people look at us down at Arsenal, up at Arsenal, whatever you want to call it, down Londoners, and they could call us arrogant. And it, sometimes it's a bit, hold on, guys, you're just listening to the media hype. I'm not an arrogant person at all. And calling Man United arrogant, I actually think Spurs and Liverpool are the 2 arrogant teams. Spurs because they never win anything and they think they're a big club, and Liverpool, they've won everything, so they've got a right to be arrogant in a funny sort of way.
Few and far between, for them. It was for me the arrogance for Man United was simply the year in, year out. The dominance, and it just I realized that. And I'm going to say it the wrong way as a Yank, but I realize that dynasties are there to be made, dynasties are there to be made. But I mean, for me, it was the prawn sandwich comments from Roy Keane, all of that. It got very tiresome very quickly. And I'm just like I said, David Moyes took the poison chalice. It wasn't his fault. He was picked by Alex Ferguson, and then everybody after that has just been not up to it.
But Alex Ferguson was very clever because he was going to leave. Then they had one good season, so he stayed on. They won the league again, and then he left a really poor aging
did.
team.
Yeah,
So-
very poor agent team. Yeah, he
Agreed.
knew what he was doing. He knew he got out at the right time. He basically bought the league for that last season. He was manager. That's the whole point of buying Robin van Persie, wasn't it? And yeah, sorry you bring that up.
Thanks very much, guys.
I've got to ask the question because for us watching from the outside, Arteta is a very frustrating person to listen to and to watch as a manager on the touchline. He never adheres to the rules. He never stays inside his technical area. He's always outside it. And there's plenty of footage of that. He always seems to make excuses up when he loses, which is very frustrating for me. Because if you listen to Eddie Howe and some other managers, they'll come up and say, look, it wasn't our day. They were the better team, blah, 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 blah. But Arteta likes to seem to make up a lot of excuses. Are you a big fan of Arteta for what he's done since he took over, or do you think he should have done more by now?
Guys, I mean, I've been going to Arsenal for a long time, and the place was toxic before he got there. You have fans were actually physically fighting each other, especially the away fans. It was that bad. It was awful. They were playing bad. Wenger wouldn't listen to anybody. I know you think that, but it was toxic. And Unai Emery didn't stand a chance. He came along, and what he did was, he's a stubborn so-and-so. He got rid of all the hangers-on, got rid of all the players that thought they were bigger than the club, and he gave passion to the club. He gave passion to the players. He made them a team. And all of a sudden, Emirates, you could feel the passion in the fans now. They could see the players wanted to win. So for all of that, we loved him. He threw his passion and fight. And all I want from my players is fight. You guys have got passion. And sometimes we haven't. So he brought that all in. Now, has he hit the level or reached a level that he can't go any further? We are starting, and when I say we, not everybody, people where I sit with, are starting to question some of his choices and his tactics and his, team changes. We're giving him, the real question you really want to know, most fans are giving him one more season. And if he doesn't win a trophy next season, then the pressure will be from the fans. There are fans already saying, I think he should go. His excuses, I'm sorry, guys, a lot of it is hyped up by the media.
Okay.
But he is I don't know if I'm allowed on this. He's a twat for turning around and saying things like, they shouldn't use the same ball. It's got a different weight. I mean, seriously. Shut up, my man, because you're embarrassing us. I think sometimes his brain doesn't click in, and he just rushes off. Yeah, he does kill us sometimes. But sorry, I love his passion, and we want him there for another year. But that's it. Then he's gone if he doesn't win something. That's my opinion. I'll say it as it is. Arsenal supporters may kill me on Sunday.
What about if it was a Carabao Cup? Would you accept that?
No.
No, there we are. See, it's not just winning something; it's winning something that.
No. It's winning. If it's the FA Cup, I'll give him that. How's that?
Right. No. It's a question because obviously we've just won the Carabao Cup, and where over the frigging moon we won that.
No, but hold on, that's great. Can I just say one thing? When I was a young lad going to Arsenal, they hadn't won anything for about 14 years, and we won something called the Fairs Cup. Okay,
yep. We know it well.
We know it very well.
And let me tell you now. There you go. It was brilliant. So nobody take the mickey out of the Carabao Cup. I want to win the Carabao Cup. It started us up because the season after we did the double. And so winning something like that will get your players motivated. It will get them to want to win a trophy. No, don't, not the Carabao Cup. The reason I said not the Carabao Cup is because he's had enough time to go and win something that I feel is worthy. He spent £700 million, mate. So don't make an excuse the Carabao Cup. I love to win it. I'm not knocking it, by the way.
No,
Right.
I completely get it. It was just a question because obviously the difference between our two clubs are massive. You've been at a higher level for so long. We're starting to get back up there after 10, 12 years of absolute misery. And this is why it's like asking Man City, would they be happy to win the Carabao Cup and not win anything else? They'd laugh at us because it's the Carabao Cup. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
So
they took the piss out of us for 2-3 weeks after we won it.
Yeah.
It was just like
yeah, they
it's
did.
the
Yeah,
Mickey Mouse Cup. Let's not forget Paul Scholes, comments about it's the cup
Yeah.
race we all want to get out of. And he was like,
yeah.
well, hold on a second, go back and look at your last season. You were overjoyed when you won the League Cup. So shut your face.
Yeah,
So,
it's arrogant. That is what is arrogance. Pep
Yeah.
Guardiola saying winning the FA Cup and coming third or fourth, whatever, isn't successful. We've had a bad season. That is arrogance. That's putting all the other clubs down. I thought it's a terrible thing.
I agree
100%.
with that. There's a question from the chat for you, Reno. Would you swap Arteta for Eddie Howe?
Oh God, that's
That's not my question.
oh, that's a good
Hands
one.
up on that one.
Do you know what? In a year's time, possibly. Have I got out of that one politically correct? I don't know.
Oh,
I think
massively.
so. Yeah,
Massively.
Eddie Howe, I think, is a great manager, and we all see him as the next England, or maybe you don't, but as a
We
future
don't.
England manager.
We
He is a
definitely
good
don't.
guy. I think the question should have been: is Isaac coming to Arsenal next season?
Well, we all know that's not happening. I mean, £100 million you've got to spend, haven't you? So you might get his left toe.
I think it's fair to say that most Newcastle fans would like to see Eddie Howe become our Sir Alex Ferguson.
Yes.
He has done a phenomenal job in these first 3-4 seasons, since the takeover, since he's come to the club. We would love to see him stay for 20 years and retire from here. But we're also pragmatic. We can see the writing on the wall if another opportunity comes for him, and we've won something to his credit. I mean, if he's able to get into the Champions League and make a long run, if he's able to win an FA Cup, if he's able to win the Carabao Cup again, something like, if he starts to stack up some accomplishments and he feels he's done as much as he can and England come calling, well, then, so be it. We're not going to begrudge him that opportunity, but personally, from a romantic point of view, I would much rather see Eddie Howe stick around and become our Sir Alex Ferguson and see us challenging for season after season after season for decades to come. So
absolutely.
A question to you guys then.
Well,
next season, because I think you're going to get into the Champions League. I do, and I predicted that a couple of weeks ago. What?
Oh no, I've lost him.
Oh, I hope we didn't lose him. He'll come back. He'll come back.
You will.
Did you get that?
No, we missed that, pal. Sorry,
No,
you
we
froze
missed that
again. Well, Mike, you're back now.
You're back,
Try again.
Right, next season, because you're going to get in Champions League, whatever, and I've said that. Next season, what do you want? Champions League or League Champions? What would you prefer to be? League Champions or European Champions?
As in Premier League champions.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay. That's interesting.
100%.
Reno, at the beginning of this season, we said if it was giving up Champions League football to win a trophy, any trophy, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, doesn't matter, the Fairs Cup from 1969, it wouldn't have mattered as long as we won something. We would have given up Champions League football. We, halfway through the season, we were in mid-table. We weren't thinking about Champions League football. We were just thrilled to be in a race of some kind, and then we went on to win the Carabao Cup and just happened to be in the top 7, and we've been hovering in that area. So right now we're just thrilled to be where we are. Next season, being in the Champions League, if we make a run of it, I mean, let's be honest, the last time we were in the Champions League, last season, we had a hell of a problem with injuries, but on top of that, any good football fan will know that the PSG result at PSG wasn't on. It wasn't fair. It wasn't. Go ahead, Baz.
I think you misunderstood the question. Would you rather win the Champions League or win the Premier League?
No, I fully
Oh,
understand.
right.
the
Okay.
question.
Sorry. I thought you were talking about. I thought you were
I'm
talking
saying,
about
absolutely.
like
I'm saying at the beginning of this
qualifying.
season,
Right.
I'm saying at the beginning of this season, we
Okay.
would have taken anything. We would have given up anything just to win something. This
Right.
season, next season, if it's a choice between winning the Champions League or winning the Premier League, I would rather win the Premier League.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's your bread and butter, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's over, those amount of games, 36, 38 games, that you're the best team in your country.
In the country. That's right. Yep.
Winning the Champions League is like it's a bonus on top, isn't it? I mean, if you ask anyone, everyone picks winning the Premier League. I think even Man City fans will say they'd rather win the Premier League than over the Champions League, because it's telling everyone in England and sticking a finger up to them saying we're better than all yous.
Yeah. I mean, I remember sort of Brian Clough. He was asked the same question, and he's won the lot. And he that's exactly, he said basically the European Cup, in the end of the day, it's a cup competition, want to win it, but to beat all your peers over a whole season, that shows who the top dog is really.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
So yeah. It's just always interesting listening to Aston Villa supporters and Nottingham Forest supporters saying we're the biggest club in England or the third biggest club in England. You think, why?
Man United winning. Man United are winning.
Are they?
Man United have beaten Chelsea.
No
way. No
That's
way.
brilliant. That's brilliant. What's the score? 1-0.
That's fantastic.
1-0. He's a Man United fan as well, Robbie. So I don't think he'd be taking the mick.
Come on, United.
I'm looking.
And Villa. Yeah, Gary says get in now as well.
Well, it's only the 16th minute pass.
Doesn't matter. They're winning.
Well, yes.
Yep.
Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
Scored.
Harry Maguire again, the winger. The right winger.
Well, you know what kills us Arsenal fans? Because we got that tag, you can only win from corners. And it was like, well, hold on, isn't that what Harry Maguire, how he saves Man United every game? Just stick him up front with that great big head. It was like, I don't give a crap if we win every game from a corner. Thank you.
Exactly.
It's gone too far.
Oh no!
Let's see what happens. Anyway, before we go to
my
the
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
I don't like Harry Maguire, but I'll keep my fingers crossed for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sure.
Before we go to the next part of the show, don't forget about our amazing sponsors, Diacro, code BAZ20 for 20% off. Link is in the description. All their stuff's amazing. They do other
Thank you, Joseph.
stuff.
And family.
Yep. Absolutely amazing stuff. We will be giving away a gift card next month again, $40 to a member. Don't forget about Jan's art as well. He does amazing Newcastle stuff. You've seen the stuff he's done of me, Superfan Dan, John, and Ian. The pictures are brilliant. They're mad. They're on point. They're brilliant. Shout out to Geordieland Experience, who are our new sponsor as well. We've teamed up with them. So if you're coming over or coming up to Newcastle and you want to have an experience day of the Northeast, contact them. They'll put you in the right direction. Save the date for the 3rd of August because we're doing our charity match again at Newcastle Benfield Football Club. Thank you to them for allowing us to do that again. Basically run around blowing and falling over and not really playing football very well, but hopefully raising a lot of money for them. That's the idea. And thank you to Henderson's Taxis of Stanley, who were sponsoring the day. So a massive shout out to them as well. Right, that's all that out the way with. Lauren's in the house. Yay. Oh, it's back to 0-0. Offside.
Oh.
Damn it. Oh, well.
They'll get another one.
They'll get another one. It's all right.
Yeah. Stay quiet.
Yeah. Let's
Bruno
move
Fernandes will get a PK, guaranteed. That'll happen.
Let's see what happens. Let's move on to potential injuries. So we've obviously got quite a list here. We've got Joe Linton, Botman we're unsure of, Joe Willock's definitely out. Lewis doesn't really matter about Lewis.
I was going to say Lewis and Target. Who are they?
Yeah, exactly. Lewis Hall is obviously missed till the end until next season. We know that. Matt Target with his hamstring, he's in there twice. He's that important to us. I put him in twice. And Trippier, unknown, which is a bit of a shame for us. For Arsenal, you've got Mourinho suspended, which was, it was a silly yellow card. To be fair, he shouldn't have put that challenge in at the edge of the box like he did against Liverpool. Gabriel hamstring, Tosumori, Jesus, and Trossard's a big one, obviously. Listen, because now you've very light up front. Now, the big question for your team is, sorry, let's put your team up first. There it is. Is Declan Rice going to play? We know Trossard's not, so who's going to play up front? And is everybody else on that list there sort of the right team for Sunday? If you can see it all right. So you've got Raya in goal, Timber at right back, Saliba, Kuwawa, Lewis Skelly, Odegaard, Partey, and then obviously Rice is a question mark. Then Saka and Martinelli and Trossard is a question mark.
Well, Trossard's definitely out, my understanding. And I thought Timber was. I thought at the end of the day, you can never trust what the managers say, because you know they're saying Rice isn't going to play, and he does look doubtful. But you know, Sunday afternoon turns up, and there he is. He trots out. So, and that's not just Arsenal. That's all the managers, isn't it?
No, Eddie Howe's a masterclass of doing that. To be fair,
it's as far as Arsenal's concerned, I don't think Timber will be playing. And if you ask me, who is our best right fullback if he's fit? And the problem being he's not fully fit, and that's White. Because White and Saka down the right-hand side last season with Odegaard, they were phenomenal. Timber's a really good fullback, but he doesn't get down the wing. He doesn't attack very well. Fantastic, you know, getting back and stopping the wingers, but he doesn't get forward enough. So White, for me, I'd prefer, and he has played the last couple of games because Timber's been injured. Skelly looks phenomenal. The pinnacle, the point here is, without our warrior in Gabriel, that is a problem. But then look what Isak did to them. You know, at the Emirates before, he smashed them. So Kiwior is honestly, he scares me. And Saliba, who couldn't cope with Isak before, is always covering where Kiwior loses position, and Skelly has to cover Kiwior's bad positioning. So our whole defence is a problem. Rice is the main man there. If he doesn't play, I can assure you, I think we've lost.
Very interesting.
That's how important that is, because Odegaard's not playing well, lots of energy, he runs around, but since the injury, not playing well. Partey's been our best midfield player over the season.
Right.
But the the last thing I'll say, the big problem we have, and you know it, guys, doesn't matter who we've got, we can't score. So how can we beat you? How can we beat you?
It's going to be interesting. Lewis Skelly, I mean, he's playing at left back at the moment, but everyone thinks he's a midfielder. What's your assessment of him? Obviously, he's been a revelation at left back for you guys, but has he got a future moving into midfield?
I think that depends on where he thinks he will be more successful, i.e. playing for England now, isn't he, at left fullback? And if you put him in midfield, he's not going to play for England, especially at the moment. So I think he will want to cement that left fullback position. That's my opinion.
It'll be tough because Lewis Hall was obviously cementing that until he got injured.
He did, and I personally speaking, and you'll think this is biased, and I try not to be. I love Livramento. I think he's the better of the two fullbacks you've got there. But you can tell me differently because you see them week in, week out, out. I think Livramento's got more to him than Hall.
That's an interesting one because we think Hall was performing better until he got injured, and then Tino was playing at right back. But then when Tino moved over to left back, he actually played better there than he did in his natural position, which is
the big thing there is in Livramento's 3 years older. He's got a little bit more experience than Lewis Hall does. That's the first thing.
True.
Second, he's got some size on him that Lewis Hall doesn't have. Livramento's, I think, a head taller than him. And two, he's an inverted fullback because he's not naturally left-footed, where Lewis Hall is naturally left-footed. Yeah. So Tino really has to step it up when he's playing left back because he's naturally right-footed. He's been a revelation. I'm not going to disagree with Reno's assessment. He was playing well at right back because Trippier wasn't. Then Lewis Hall got injured. We had nobody else at left back. Matt Targett was injured yet again. So we shifted Tino over there, and then Trips came back and started playing like the Trips that we signed back in 2021. So our defense sorted itself, and Tino has been fantastic. The fact that Mo Salah had 0 shots and 0 chances created in the Carabao Cup says that Tino did his job and did it
Yeah.
well. So you
Yeah.
know, I agree with you, Reno. I think Tino has been fantastic in that left back slot. I don't think it's his natural position, but I truly believe he is stepping up to show that he can play just about anywhere. I would be. I argued at times when he was playing at right back and wasn't playing well, and Murphy wasn't playing well. I argued substitute Trippier in for Murphy and shift
and Tino.
Livramento up front.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, let him play right wing and see how that goes, because he's shown that he can play just about anywhere.
Gary sums
You
it
still
up quite
prefer
well there.
Hall to Livramento then?
I do personally.
Okay.
I think this is perfect. Tino is the more polished article. Hall has a higher ceiling. So because Hall's younger and we haven't seen the full potential of him yet, we think his ceiling is higher than Tino's. We think Tino is showing what he's capable of now.
Right.
I don't know if he can go too much higher, where we think Hall can progress a lot further. So, and this is right from Leslie as well, isn't it? Had Hall not been injured, he was on course to be the player of the season. So that tells you how well he was playing for us.
Right.
Agreed.
You see, we don't, you know, when you're not seeing the guy week in, week out like you do, you can't assess the person. What you see on the television is not the same as actually being at the stadium and seeing
100%.
how he's positioning and how much, you know, how much energy is and how much he's covering the ground. You don't see all of that.
Yeah. I think Davey's obviously a little bit right here as well, that Tino is quicker. And Lewis Hall has been caught out of position a few times, and that's what he needs to work on. Obviously, he's not a natural left back. Eddie Howe's turning him into a natural left back. He played left back a couple of times for Chelsea, but he's actually a midfielder, a bit like Lewis Skelly. He's actually a midfielder. But like you mentioned, he's not going to get in the Newcastle midfield. So where's he going to be more successful? Playing at left back. And that's why he's doing it. So he just needs to, and he is learning all the time. As long as he keeps on listening and want to adapt and want to get better, he will be challenging Skilly for that left back position for England for the rest of their careers, basically.
Yeah, I think the question you therefore asked me, let's go back to the original question, and I don't want to upset you, Newcastle, and this isn't biased, it's feel okay. I just think Skelly, and the way Arsenal play, and I think the way England want the fullback to play, they do come into the midfield. Skelly is actually a midfield player, a natural midfield player, and I think he's just got a little bit more skill. His skills are better, I think,
I agree with that.
than Hall, and that's why I think ultimately he will get the England position, because as a fullback, he's strong, he's fast, the same as Hall. I think he's faster than Hall, but I think he can invert into the midfield, and he's got more about him. That's my honest opinion. But he's 18, and as you said, you never know how somebody develops, and he could have come to his level, and he may not go any further. So, you know, let's see.
You might end up pushing Skelly up to left forward in the future because he is still so young. Look what Gareth Bale did. Gareth Bale started at left back, and look where he finished his career, being phenomenal on the left wing. So you just don't know, do you? It's going to be interesting.
He's not fast enough for that, I don't think. But anyway, sorry, carry on.
No, that's fine. I think that's one thing Gareth Bale did have. He had a lot of pace, didn't he?
Yeah.
There's what the Newcastle team is predicted by SofaScore. Now, obviously, I didn't want to try and predict it myself because I haven't got a clue what's going on, to be honest with you, because Sven Botman's in there. But Sven Botman is a big risk. Sven Botman might not play again this season. So this is very interesting. This is the same formation we played against you in the semi-final. This is also the formation we played at the weekend against Chelsea, and it worked very well. So we've only played it twice this season, and we've won twice. So why would you change it? I think a lot of us have been crying out for like a 2-1 formation, haven't we? Like near the top, haven't we, Dan? Rather than having 4-3-3, we wanted it to be a little bit more dynamic. It's not parking the bus. It is frustrating you and hitting you on the brake. That's how I like to analyze it. There's more than one way to skin a cat. But I don't think we play this formation tomorrow, because I think Sven Botman is a worry, and unless he's going to bring Kraft in and trust him to play on the right-hand side of the defence with Shaw in the middle, that's the only way this formation is going to work.
Unless we see something completely out of left field, and we see Lascelles make a comeback. He's just come through 45 minutes. We don't know. That's
No,
the thing.
I get that. I
No.
get that. But I just, my brain's thinking he's been out all season and you're going to throw him in at Arsenal away.
That's not going to happen. I hope it does happen. I hope he does play. Yeah. I mean, look,
he
guys.
was phenomenal against PSG.
No, he was
in the Champions League. So,
injury,
yep.
I like Lascelles as a squad player. I just think he's been out for so long.
Yeah,
throwing him in at the Emirates is a bad idea.
I was saying that what I was trying to say, Baz, was in response to your question. Was if there's no Botman, you're going to shift Share to the center. You're going to bring in Kraft. Then you have the only defensive cavalry you have is Lascelles. So I think you're right. I don't think we'll see this formation. I don't think we'll see this. There's nothing wrong with a Christmas tree at the end of May. I don't think we'll see this formation. But I trust Eddie Howe to get it right. So
100%.
Let's see what we've got. If we've got no Joe Linton, if we've got no Botman, let's see where we go.
Yeah. Thanks, James, and thanks for setting this up as well. We really appreciate you getting Reno set up with the technology side of things, and he knows what he was doing. It's brilliant. I mean, Reno, when you look at that team, where you worried, obviously, other than Isaacs, that's obviously an obvious one. Who else worries you in our team?
I can't actually see that team. I'm sorry. I can see obviously Isaac. Who the players in the middle and up front?
Gordon and Barnes, and then you got Tonali and Bruno.
Okay, and who's wide of Tonali and Bruno?
So Murphy right wing and Livramento left wing.
Okay,
well left wing back, right wing back, I should say.
Okay, again, as I said, if Rice is playing, it's a different game. If Rice is playing, not. If Rice is playing, I actually think we will dominate the midfield. I really do. Tonali is a great player, and he covers a lot of space as well. Got some lovely skills. Gomes is maybe, in my opinion, one of the best midfield players in the Premiership. And he also, it was quite funny. I got a lot of Geordie boys coming to me on my blog and saying, "Oh, you're just all going to be falling over and crying and diving and everything," which is fine. But Gomes is that type of player. He is the sort of player that everybody hates but wants in their team.
Yes.
He goes around. I was going to say exactly that. Yep.
Yeah. He's a bit of a nasty boy. He goes around. He kicks people. He's a bit angry. He falls over when somebody touches him. He plays the game, and so he scares me. And he scores. It's what we haven't got. Our midfield cannot score. Forget the forward line. We cannot score. Gomes, he's the key. That he does everything and he can score. Yeah. So he scares me. Tonali doesn't scare me that much. Forget Isaac. Sorry. We know what he's got. Barnes, I don't know. Depends what comes out. I think he can be. I think he can cut out the game. Well, I think if you got the right team, you can cut him out. You need to play deep, long balls over, and he gets those long balls, cuts in. But I don't think he's not silky. He's not, and Murphy is not. I'm sorry. I don't think that he's a class player, Murphy.
No, he's not. We fully accept what Murphy is. He's just having a great season.
Yeah,
he's having the longest purple patch of his career.
Yeah. But you guys,
best way to describe it.
Yeah, you guys can't lose this game. That's how I see it. And we've got to. When you played at the Emirates in the semi-finals, guys, I know you beat us. But I know you won't like this. But at the end of the day, it's about scoring. We controlled. I don't know, but being there, we controlled that game. And what is the point of controlling? We had 3 or 4 chances. If we'd had a centre forward, we would have smashed you out the game. But if we haven't, well, I don't smash out. We would have scored 2 or 3. We would have. We missed some open goals there. If you can't score, can't win. And we got less of a forward line now than we had. We're going to be playing 3 wingers in our forward line. How can we penetrate? We can't score. So all you guys have got to do is make sure you play the same game, you don't let us score, and you got Isak. and that kills me. I will be happy with the draw, and that is awful. Last game of the season, we expect to win. We expect our team to win that last game of the season, and if they come and play like they have, like West Ham, I mean, West Ham came and dominated because they were passionate and showed energy, and we didn't. You guys are going to come, show energy, show passion, want to win, and if we don't come to the party, that's it.
It's going to be interesting.
Oh.
Apparently Villa have gone 1-0 up, which is a bit of a shame. That makes Sunday even more important now. This is the form of the teams. Obviously, we're in a better form at the moment, but you've had 2 brutal games against PSG.
Yep.
Great.
Don't want to see it.
Yeah, I know. But a great point against Liverpool, though, when you were 2-0 down. So credit to you to come back and defend for 10 minutes for 10 men. Palace is everyone's bogey team this season. I tell you one thing, though. I want to say congratulations for getting as far as you did in the Champions League. And congratulations 100%. To all the other English teams for getting so far in the Champions League, because you made it possible for 5th place to get a Champions League spot. And that made us very happy as Newcastle fans.
Okay, didn't think of that.
Yeah, exactly. Not people have. And everyone's like, well, we don't want 6 English teams in the Champions League next season. It's just like, yeah, we do. Because the more points you get, the more chance you've got of getting 5th spot as Champions League again. It's a huge benefit to everyone.
I just think it's wild that because of the way everything's worked out so far this season, we could see the top 9 teams in the Premier League playing in Europe next season.
I think it's top 8, isn't it?
Baffling. Top 8. I knew it was going to be a lot. I knew it was going to be practically half the league. So, half the division. So, but just the way it works out, I can't believe that.
Yeah, it's crazy. So if Man City win the FA Cup, the Europa League positions go to 6th and 7th. Yeah. And then if we get Champions League football or Europa League spot, our Conference League spot goes to 8th place. So that's how it works. So very, very, very interesting. And it's good because
you guys are getting what you want about. You're going to get in the Champions League. Even if you lose to us, you are going to get there. Definitely.
You've got to be careful when because I've said this and I've had my backside bitten off far too many times. Last season, I think it was 5 games to go. We were doing all right. Chelsea were doing shite, and I said Chelsea are never going to catch us. And then boom, they flew right past us, and I was like, I cannot believe what I've just witnessed. So I take anything for granted now, really. Right, let's have a look at the running. So obviously we are 2 points behind Arsenal, yourselves. We could finish 2nd and never be in a title race, which I think is really stupid. But that's just the way this season's been, hasn't it? It's been very stupid. I think personally, 2nd, 3rd and 4th are sewn up. I think it's between Chelsea, Villa and Forest to nab that last place. But again, anything could happen. What do you predict? Seeing the last few games, and that is what the league table looks like at the moment. What's your prediction?
Well, I did actually put up a prediction about 2 weeks ago, so I've got to stick with it. The problem being is Forest have gone and screwed up, haven't they?
Yeah, massively.
Because my prediction is definite. I've got to go with Arsenal getting a draw at least at home this weekend. I've got to go with that, and on that basis, Southampton away gives us 3 points, and so that gives us 2nd place because our goal average is also better than everybody else's.
Yes.
So I've got Liverpool. Obviously, have won it. I think I'm right there, aren't
I? Just a tad.
I've got, and you're not going to like this. I've got it going: Arsenal, City, Newcastle, Chelsea.
Sounds right to me.
Well, that's how I got it. But that depends on this week. That depends on you and us. What happens this Sunday?
But let's face it, Man City, bottom of the league, Southampton, got a point.
Yeah. And that's my concern. Our last game is away to Southampton. That has really put the willies up me, let me tell you.
They had nothing to play for apart from dignity, and they pulled out a fantastic result again. And City don't look like the City of old, so it wouldn't surprise me if we finish above City, but I'm not expecting it. Is probably the best way to describe that situation. And again, and anything else could happen. Lots of things could go wrong. Dan, what's your prediction?
I, I like the look of the table. I like the look of the table right now.
Yeah, me
But
too.
I'm hoping, like Reno, I'm hoping for at least a draw tomorrow. And if
Yeah.
that happens, then we see the top three stay the way they are. Um, Man City has been questionable the last few weeks, and
Yeah.
Chelsea is schizophrenic. You never know what you're going to get with Chelsea. I'm currently rooting against Villa, and I'm sorry to
Well,
Paul Whitecross for that.
they're
You know,
1-0 up at the moment, so they're sitting
I
in
know.
fourth, aren't they? So I'm
Yeah,
just saying that this isn't live, this table. So that if we include the live game, they're currently sitting on 66 points with a worse goal difference than us. So they're sitting in fourth, Man
right.
City in fifth, and Chelsea in sixth. So that's
Yep.
a big gauntlet laid down for the weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, indeed. So I'm saying Liverpool, obviously champions. I'm thinking, I think it's going to stay looking like what we're seeing on the screen right now.
You think
Liverpool
Chelsea
first.
are going to beat Villa?
I think Chelsea can beat Villa. I think it's going to be a surprise package on the day.
Their last game, remember, is away to Forest. That's the big one. So that's going to really be a great game to watch.
Yeah,
really will.
100%.
I'll root for Chris Wood all day long. Just to prove the doubters wrong yet again. He's had a phenomenal season. I am not a Chelsea fan in any way, shape, or form. Not once have I ever pulled for Chelsea to do something to help anybody else. I don't think. But I think on the day, I think they're going to be a surprise package.
Interesting. Right. Got some match facts for you before we go into our predictions. Arsenal have lost just once in 20 Premier League home games against Newcastle. They've won 17, drawn 2, winning 11 of the last 12, drawn 1 since a 1-0 loss in November 2010. And I think that was Andy Carroll's.
Got to do that a little bit. Come on.
I believe that was Andy Carroll's header when Chris Hughton was in charge. That was a weird game. Following their 1-0 win at St James's Park in November, Newcastle are looking to complete their first league double over Arsenal since 1994-95. So that tells you how long it's been since we've been very successful on home and away front. Yeah. We have won our last 3 games against Arsenal, though, 1-0, 2-0, 2-0, which is quite impressive from our point of view. No goals conceded. Yeah. Newcastle have won 5 of their last 8 meetings with Arsenal in all competitions, drawn 1 and lost 2, as many as they had in their previous 52 games against Arsenal, drawn 11, lost 36. Arsenal, this is a good one for you, Reno. Arsenal have only lost their final home game of the season 27 times. They've won. Won 22, drawn 4. So they've only lost once in the last 27 games, and it was a 2-1 defeat to Villa in 2010-11. What's this one? The only time their final home game of a league campaign was against Newcastle was in 96-97, losing 1-0 thanks to a Robbie Elliott goal. So there's a good fact for you. Jacob Murphy has 12 assists. He's third in the all-time list for Newcastle, behind Andy Cole and Norberto Solano. I think that was a good one. Right, Simon Hooper, referee. What do you think of him, Reno?
Guys, look.
Sorry, Simon Hooper.
I know who you're talking about. I'm sorry to say, but I have a major problem with. I do not think any referees. He's an awful referee anyway. I have an awful problem with referees because they are inadequate, and there is not one fan, no fan base that will say they are good. They are not professionals. They've never played football. They get paid. Do you know how much referees get paid annually? I tell you, the average salary of a referee
a year, isn't it?
Sorry,
was it 100,000 a year? Or was it 200,000 a year?
A Premier League referee, the average, is 180,000.
Yeah,
they are some of them are on 250. That is excluding they get £1,500 for every game they officiate. That is excluding they get £30,000 as a signing on fee every year. That is excluding expenses. That is excluding these private competitions they go to where they get sort of £10,000 or £20,000 payments. These guys are on £400,000. Forget sponsorships. They're on approximately £400,000 a year. They've never played for. This is how I put it. Would you get in a car with somebody who knows the highway code back to front but has never driven a car?
No.
Or would you get into a car? Would you get into a car who somebody that couldn't tell you the highway code but has driven Formula One? What would you? That's my understanding. Referees
Neither.
never played the game.
Neither.
Right. So right. Okay. Yeah. No, but you know what I'm saying.
I'll take the tube.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying is
I do.
referees are awful. They are awful. They are the bane of football, and they have so much power. It's ridiculous.
Agreed.
So don't ask me. He is an awful referee.
Well, his stats say that. To be fair, 29 games in all. Yeah, 29 games in all competitions, 131 yellow cards, which is between 4.5 cards per
I've
game.
lost you.
Issued.
Are we timed
We
out?
can still hear you, Reno.
No,
we
no,
can still hear you.
We can still hear you. 2 red cards.
Okay, so I didn't hear.
Yeah, sorry. So 29 games completed, 131 yellow cards. That's an average of 4.5 a game. He's issued 2 red cards. He's got Andy Madley, which is another name I hate, as a 4th official. He's got Michael Salisbury as VAR and assistant VAR as Mark Perry. So there we go. So it just tells you I think both teams aren't going to be very happy with the referees, to be fair. Right, we're going to go around the houses and do our score prediction. But while you guys work out what your score prediction is going to be, I'm going to throw in a few little videos of our normal panelists who couldn't be on the show tonight. So let's start with Ian.
Good evening, everybody. This is my match prediction for our game away on the road at Arsenal on Sunday. Do you know what it is? I'm very confident of going down there and getting the job done. Can you imagine if we come away with the 3 points as well and secure a Champions League football? Would just be absolutely amazing. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win, Newcastle United. Also, I'm sending my apologies to the Through Black and White Eyes family that I haven't been around of late. Obviously, some of you know that I'm involved with kids football now, and I'm doing a lot of coaching, doing a lot of one-to-one, improving the future of our fantastic game of football. Hopefully I'll be on the show soon, but like I say, I'm sending me apologies, but away the lads, and let's get the 3 points. Away the boys.
He doesn't need to apologise. We expected him to disappear for a little bit. Do you see what I put in the group chat, though? Who's that? Looks foreign.
Exactly. Wearing a Barcelona kit of all things.
Exactly. Right, next one, JC.
Hi, everybody. It's JC Potter here with predictions for the Arsenal game. So I'm going to ignore the fact that Chelsea and Man United are playing tonight. And I'm going to go straight to the Sunday one. Tough game. You know, Arsenal they're no mean feat. They got to the semi-finals of the Champions League. They've played really well all season. You know, I know they've had injury crises, but and we did them. We did them in the Carabao Cup semi-finals. This is a different kettle of fish. I think that both teams need a win, but I can see that Newcastle might sneak it. So I'm going to go 1-0 Newcastle. And if I have to put a scorer, I'm going to go Anthony Gordon. So that's my prediction. 1-0 Newcastle, Anthony Gordon. Away the lads, and we'll see from there. All right, catch you later. Cheers, everybody. Take care. Bye.
Sounds like there's a Quidditch game going on above them, doesn't it? I have to say, I'm sorry. Right, next one.
Tráfico Silencio.
Oh, he's going to kill me. Right, John.
Hey guys, Arsenal this weekend away. Everybody knows we can beat this team. We've done it 3 times already this year. Cup games, Premier League games, it doesn't matter. We're inside Arteta's head, and I love that. But we got a lot of injuries. I know they've got a few. Injuries seem to hurt us worse because we work so hard. all game long. That's part of Eddie's game, is hustle, hustle, press, press. So, I predict to win all the time, but I'm just feeling 2-2. I think it'll be a close game. I know that we can win this game, but I don't know. I felt better about the Chelsea game, and we took care of them, and it was great. Yeah, that's my prediction. I look for a draw, and I hope for better. Take care.
I haven't listened to these, by the way, so I'm listening to for the first time as well. Apart from JC's, when I heard that he talked about Harry Potter. Brilliant. Right, one more to go, and it's Liam.
Yes, Toon fans, Liam here. How's it going? Right, toughest Premier League game of the season, I'm going to say. Approaching at the weekend versus Arsenal. Right, here's my match prediction. So, I'm going to say that Arsenal are going to come out and try and dominate, but it ain't going to happen. We are going to step up to the plate, and we are going to handle these. I hope, I pray. So, yes, I do think we're going to win 2-1. So, yeah, come on the Mags, and hopefully we will finish this weekend in second.
We are going to get into, hopefully, maybe.
Maybe,
yeah.
Probably, could be, magically.
He couldn't have been so up there and then. That's brilliant. I love Liam. Reno, come on, what's your score prediction, pal?
A little story. I don't know if you know my father-in-law was a Geordie, and yeah, he's from Gateshead. That's what I mean. He passed away last year, and that's why I've got a bit of a soft spot for them. And I've got a little bottle downstairs that every game we put a pound coin on the table and bet against each other. And so my bottle filled up, and now it's had £3 coins come out of that bottle, and they're sitting next to it now because I want one to go back in. Okay.
That's fantastic.
And that is the truth, honestly, because he's not with us anymore. And so, he's now got the 3 little coins next to that blasted plastic bottle. But I don't think it's going to happen, and I've got it down as a 1-1 draw.
Yeah.
That's what I've got. We can't win this one, so I'm hoping we get a goal from somewhere.
Interesting.
Can't score.
Hey, you never know what's going to happen. Well, we hope. Dan.
I was taking a leaf out of Reno's book because it really is about who's going to score the goals, and for us, it's who's going to defend our goal. We don't know what our defense is going to look like, and we surely don't know what Arsenal's attack is going to look like. So my feelings are we will still give up a fluky goal somewhere, but I think I agree with Liam. I think it'll be a 2-1 Newcastle victory, but I think it's going to be an entertaining match to watch, simply because it really is all about who can score the goals. I mean, Arsenal's got a defense that can stand up to us. We've got a defense that's on their day fantastic, resolute. Right now we're questionable simply because we don't know who's playing. We know that Arsenal doesn't have anybody to play up front right now because they have nobody up front to play. So yeah, I think it's going to be a battle of the midfield tomorrow, and I think Newcastle will come out 2-1 winners.
Oh, very interesting. I've been humming and ahhing about this result for a while. Because if Rice plays, we know how good Declan Rice is. I'm a big fan of Declan Rice, by the way. He's definitely worth 100 million. People were doubting it, and I was defending that transfer because I just thought he's quality. He really is. He's got everything. But if he doesn't play, I think our midfield will get the better of yours. I think your pace will be your asset tomorrow, trying to break us down, because with Dan Burn and Shaw, like you mentioned in your own video, you aren't going to win any headers. There's no point in putting the ball in the box because that's meat and drink for us. But if you get in between them, you've got a chance of getting through us, because pace is something we lack quite a bit in those areas. So I think we're going to play the same sort of tactics as we did in the cup. We're going to sit back. We're going to let you have a lot of the ball. I think stopping Saka is going to be the main problem, because the ball is going to be out there a lot to him. Tino's got to stand up like he did in the cup final. And if he does, I think we could grind out a 1-0 win. And I know that's not going to be what the viewers are going to want to watch, because it's a Super Sunday game. They want to see an attacking game of football. But I just think if it all depends who's playing, and we're struggling with picking the teams for both sides. So it's very hard to throw out a result there. And I'm just thinking of all the scenarios. It's either going to be a 1-1 draw, or either team's going to nick it 1-0. And I hope it's Newcastle who nick it 1-0 in the end. Yeah, it's a tough one. And then you keep mentioning about Isak, but Isak hasn't really been on fire recently, because we think he's carrying a groin injury. So he's not as effective as he has been recently. So this is where I think
we could start Callum Wilson instead.
No, definitely
not. But I think we're just scared of him. That's all. I think Saliba.
I think everyone is.
That's the problem. And Kiwior, I have problems with that name myself. Is really quite poor against pace.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, Dan Burns quite poor against pace. It's he's play the right ball. Yeah, of course he is. Yeah, don't get me wrong. But I think because we're going to give up a lot of the ball, we have to make very good use of what ball we get. And it's all about being effective and taking your chances. Like you said, you might struggle to take your chances. If we get 4 or 5 in the game, we are very effective. We'll out of 5 chances, we'll put 2 away. And that'll be the difference.
If we're talking about pace, you got to remember.
Yeah.
Gordon, Barnes, Isak, Murphy.
Absolutely.
In terms of barn burners in pace, we've got 4 of the best right there. So
absolutely. And they shoot. I know that sounds pathetic, but when I used to play football, or when I used to coach, the one thing I always used to say to my young boy, especially when the youth boys, you get to that box, you shoot. I don't care. It can hit somebody. We're scared of shooting. Watch Odegaard. He's scared of shooting. And that's our front line are scared of shooting. And that's where Barnes, he'll have a go, and so will Murphy, and so will Isak. Our boys don't put the leather behind the boot ever. It's embarrassing.
I don't
You're
remember.
a very walk it in team, aren't you? Where we like to walk it in if we can, but we're also not scared to have a dig.
Absolutely.
I can't remember which sportsman it was who said, I don't remember if it was hockey or if it was football or whatever. You will miss. No. It's the one, you will score every goal, or what is it? Shoot, it's now left me. I had it in my brain and now it's gone. You will miss every shot you do not take.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
If you like Reno said, if you don't put the leather behind the ball, you have no chance. So just take it. Agree.
Right, very quickly before we go, don't forget about our amazing sponsors. We love them. Spenny, thank you so much for being our first ever sponsor and carrying on doing it. Jan's Art have been fantastic to us doing the graphics for our little guys. Like I say,
there you go.
You can ask them to do whatever you want to do. It's brilliant. And Geordieland Experience, a new partnership with Sparky. You met Sparky on the Wednesday night fans forum. He's a right live wire, great lad. So anyone coming in to Newcastle from out of the area and you want an experience, that's who you'll go to. And then, of course, we've got our amazing charity match trying to raise money for Stanley Deaf Club for the kids and also for rare diseases. The 25% is going to rare diseases, 75% to Stanley Deaf Club. And thank you to Henderson's Taxis of Stanley. QR code to download their app. They sponsored the day for us. Reno, I want to say it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. Like I say, it's very hard to find a level-headed Arsenal fan these days online because, let's face it, AFTV has turned you all into clowns, most of them.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree.
So I'm so glad I came across your TikTok account and reached out. And like I said, you and James were absolutely brilliant. So we'll definitely have you back on.
Yep.
Been a pleasure.
If you want, you can come back on Monday night on our review show. It'll be at 8:15 or 8 o'clock again. We'll be reviewing the game. You're more than happy to come back on. Obviously,
I'll have to talk to the boss.
Yeah.
Understood.
All depends on the result as well, eh?
Yeah. Actually, thinking about it, it's my daughter's birthday on Monday, so
Oh,
I'm not
that's
sure I'll
not
be able to
happening
do
then.
that.
Yeah,
So
that-
it won't happen. I'm sorry, guys.
no,
Family first is what is our
family
motto. So,
first.
yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%.
yeah,
But I'd love to
absolutely.
do it again sometime with you guys.
Yes.
It's been a pleasure, and I like talking to people that are balanced and level-headed. You know, forget all that sort of angst that fans have. If we can I don't mind banter.
Yeah.
Love the banter. Like
Yep.
we're going to beat you 10-0. You wait and see. When that 10th goal comes in, I'll be there Monday night going,
Love it. I
Block.
would love it.
Block button. Why isn't it working? I'm only joking. Take care, Robbie. Thanks for watching as well. But Reno, honestly,
Take
it's
care,
been
guys.
an absolute
Cheers,
pleasure.
Reno.
Cheers, guys. Thanks a lot.
We'll be in touch again. We'll stay in touch. There's other things we like to do as well, and you might be up
Okay.
for something like that as well. So,
Okay,
obviously,
love it.
thank you so
Good night,
much.
Reno.
Don't like
Guys,
you
don't hang
tomorrow.
Don't hang up yet. Don't end the show yet. I want
All
to show
right,
you guys
okay.
something.
Oh, go on. Sorry.
Because we'll be on Tyneside next week,
Yes, go on.
and
Then.
you have
Show
to
me.
find us to
He's
have
got
one
them.
of those.
No way. He's got the badges.
I can't
You
see
gotta
them.
find us.
I'm getting old.
It's our logo. We'll get you one.
That's
So,
all.
You
It's our
can.
logo.
Can I just plug my one then? It's
Of course you
football chat uncensored, guys. I got a lot of Geordie followers, honestly, and we have these sort of chats, and honestly, we have a lot of great banter. Really banter, and as you can see, I'm a level-headed Arsenal supporter. There are thousands. Don't listen to this guy here. There are a lot of Arsenal supporters that are decent guys. My
This is
son, my daughters.
they come from your lineage, so there you go. You've spoken for
Oh,
yourself,
shut up
mate.
now.
No, love it. Oh,
Cheers,
Leslie
guys.
wants a badge. Yes, we've got quite a few badges coming.
Yes, Leslie. Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. Yes, she must. Right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Reno. Everyone,
Cheers,
enjoy
guys.
your
Reno.
weekend.
Thanks,
Been a pleasure. 10-0.
Thank you very much.
10-0.